Last episode of Way Too Early starts right now. Congratulations. We're going to miss being your opening act. Take care.
Sarah says goodbye for now. Hard to believe a year ago we'd never even heard of Sarah Palin. Today, it's breaking news when she serves hot dogs at the governor's picnic in Fairbanks. The question is, what is the next twist in this story? President Obama proposes some Budweiser diplomacy. The Harvard professor and the Cambridge cop say they'll sit down together at the White House. The question is, are the rest of us going to sit down and have a real conversation about race? Probably not. And Bill Gates has two problems: too much money, and now he says, too many friends. The question is, why is America's greatest nerd dumping his Facebook friends? It's way too early for this. Why is that guy yelling at me? If that news and that hair look a little dated, it's because they come from July 27th, 2009, the very first day of Way Too Early. Today, November 9th, 2012, is my last day on this show. As you may have heard, I'm leaving to tour with One Direction. It's going to be very exciting. No, I'm headed just across the street for a new gig. You'll still see me on Morning Joe, and don't worry, you'll still have something to watch on the treadmill. The show we've had so much fun bringing you here every day will live on. My friends Joe and Mika will hold down the fort until we can lure Larry King or Regis out of retirement. Offers are out to both. You work in relative obscurity at 5:30 in the morning in exchange for free Starbucks pastries. Pretty sweet deal for a couple of comers. Especially today, I want to hear from you, our loyal family of sleep-deprived, and let's be honest with each other, out at 2:30 a.m. on the West Coast, completely baked viewers. I think you know the drill by now. You can email me at waytooearly. And the New York area continues to cope with the impact of Hurricane Sandy. Gas rationing now in effect in New York City. That story and a check on weather when Way Too Early comes right back.
I'm not a player, I just crush a lot. Uptown, baby.
Joining us via Skype, MSNBC Time Magazine senior political analyst Mark Halpern, but not just any Skype. Mark Halpern is aboard a Delta flight somewhere over the United States. Mark, what are we doing here, my man? Are you really in the can?
I really am. It's a red-eye flight. Didn't want to bother my fellow passengers, so I'm in the quiet room, also known as the laboratory. It's making NBC history, there's no doubt.
I think it is. Brokaw did just call, and he gave us a big old pat on the back. Mark Halpern aboard Delta Flight 226 inside the laboratory via Skype. Mark, thanks so much. Welcome back to Way Too Early. It is 5:43 in the morning. The sun not yet up. That's our view. You see it every morning about this time from the top of our building at 30 Rock, looking south down into Manhattan. Coming up at the top of the hour on Morning Joe, John Boehner says he is ready to be led. So will the president reach out today, or is this all just honeymoon talk before we go back to business as usual in Washington? We'll knock all that around with our Morning Joe crew. And when we come back here, I'll be totally honest with you, I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm told we have a couple of mystery guests on the phone. Just hope it's not my parole officer or, God forbid, Mike Barnacle. My final Way Too Early coming right back. The African-American players. Donnie, what's up, man? This is nice. You don't run TV, right?
No, I want to show.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. This is awkward. Is this happening? Are we on, or is this dress?
Come on, baby. Go.
Dress, okay. The African-American players on Duke at the time. Good morning, I'm Willie Geist, and this is Way Too Early, the show that has only two wrong sides of the bed to choose from when waking up in the middle of the night. We host every show like it's a must-win, even though the stakes are extraordinarily low. The show that won an Emmy again this year for Best 5:30 a.m. non-infomercial cable program. The show that avoids those embarrassing cancellations just by not having guests on the program at all. Just me and Karen's over here. The show that, like our leaders on Capitol Hill, was up late into the night. Except we were watching the Real Housewives of New York reunion. Still, we were up late. Did you hear what Ramona said to Jill? The show that would never let down its base of insomniacs, nursing mothers, and straight-up drunks. The show that believes people who are up watching this show are members of a cult. The show that wakes up in the middle of the night, dresses in the dark, and stumbles through the rest of the day, all to deliver the news in a near-empty studio full of dudes. Yeah. Winning. That's actually not true. Jen Littman is here with us every morning. We told you at the top of the show that Way Too Early premiered at 5:30 a.m. on July 27th, 2009. From the day that launched to my last show here today, we've been on the air for 874 shows. As those of you on graveyard shifts know all too well, that translates into a whole lot of lost sleep, and we've calculated it. If you want to sound smart today, I'm not sure this is going to really help you sound smart, but we'll tell you anyway. Tell your friends that for well over 3 years, we've been going on about 5 hours of sleep a night. When you compare that to the recommended 8 hours, that means I personally have lost 2,622 hours of shut-eye. That's 109 days. Yes, we took the time to crunch the numbers on that one. All right, now this is the part of the show where I lose total creative control, and I don't love that. John Tower in the control room. I'm told we have some people on the phone. Take it away.
Yes, we have one guest standing by.
Yes.
It's Savannah.
Savannah Guthrie?
Indeed. What are you doing? You have to be at work here in an hour, dude.
I know. I'm going across the street to be with Savannah Guthrie at 7 a.m. It was my last show. What, am I going to not show up for my last show?
I'm just so honored to be a part of your last show. As you know, Way Too Early holds a place in my heart as well. I've called into this show many, many times, Willie. I'm so proud of what you've done. I just want to let you know we're so excited to have you at the Today Show, and you're going to be really excited because we actually, when we have guests on the air, we're also able to show them visually. We don't just do a phone interview. We also show their faces, and it's a real advance in technology. I think you're going to be very
It is. We're working
excited.
on it. We're working on some of the satellite transmission things backstage here. But you know, the truth is, Savannah, and you know this, having called in many times, there aren't a lot of people who want to be seen on television at 5:30 in the morning. So we gave them the option of calling in from bed, and you, frankly, always took that option.
That's true, and in fact, the truth is I have curlers in my hair right now, so I'm happy to be calling in. But mostly, I just wanted to welcome you because the Today Show is so excited to have you, and we can't wait to welcome you, and we'll see you in an hour.
All right, Savannah, I'll see you in a few minutes. Thanks for calling.
Bye.
Bye. See ya. All right, still ahead on Way Too Early. Why are you awake? Your farewell tweets, texts, and emails are next. And Morning Joe just moments away.
And you still won't match up with the ruthless pile. Cause Easy's doing it Compton style. That's the city, and you say you could get some. Yo, it's easier said than done.
So you've been disturbing us with your emails and tweets since the summer of 2009. Why don't we continue one more time with that rich tradition here today? Tower, what do you have?
We got some good ones today. Rachel Moore, so bummed this is Willie's last day. You've been my gym mate since 2009. Do you know how hard it is to cry on a treadmill? Lindsay writes, I'm so angry at you for leaving. I'll never forgive you.
Oh, my.
Jane,
Sorry.
This is the worst day of my life. Feel like I'm divorcing my TV husband. And Bill writes, a real man would do all 3 shows.
Ooh. I know, I actually thought about that recently. It'd be a tough stretch. 5:30 to like 11 in the morning on TV every day. I guess I could do it if I were a real man. Probably true. You got one more, Tower?
Yes, this one's from Christina Geist in New York.
Oh, no, my wife.
I'm awake because this is the only way to communicate with my husband at this hour. Willie, I love you and I'm so proud of you. I also like to say goodbye to my invisible community of wackos who are watching TV at this hour. We'll miss you.
They are wackos. I love you too, and now we can speak to each other a little more frequently, not just on television. So for 3 years and change, we put on a show for you with a group of producers so small we could barely field the starting 5 for a pickup game. Actually, we couldn't, right, guys, unless it were like a 3-on-3 league or something. That handful of producers you see here, Dan, Eric, all these guys, you never really get a chance to see them. They come to work in the darkness. They write scripts. They edit video. They make graphics. They man cameras like Joe Biello. They pull cable. They wire microphones. They adjust lights, coordinate satellites like Adrian. They run a prompter like Lindsay back there. And in the case of our man Q, right through this window, they spin late 80s, early 90s hip-hop at 5:30 in the morning. There's nothing like a little cable news accompanied by NWA and EPMD. We're truly a family in this little 30-minute piece of TV real estate we seized not long ago. This is the brains behind the operation, my good friend John Tower. You see him on camera every day. This show and Morning Joe, simply not possible without him. He's a superstar. John Tower. Alex Corson, our executive producer. Stucky over here punching the buttons, making me look good. And this is the great TJ Estrella, the director. You know, Joe's not always kind to him on TV. Let's be honest about that. But TJ pulls it all together. He helped conceive, create. He's responsible for the way this show looks and feels every day. TJ is one of the greats in the TV business, and I'm grateful for everything. I love you guys all so much. I'm going to miss you. Thank you so much for watching Way Too Early. I will genuinely miss being with you, the viewers, every day, even at this ungodly hour. Morning Joe starts right now.
Even before